Well, thanks for joining us for our weekly tip. Like we said, this week we're talking about that most important person, and actually it's the most important role in your business if you want to grow, and that is the visionary in your business. Well, who's the visionary? If you're the owner, think back to when you started the business, right? All of the reasons why you started the business. The visionary in your business is the person who is thinking about the future, envisioning the future, right? The person who sees the opportunities, who looks for the successes at every turn and even out of every failure. That person who is thinking big picture. So important, right, Susanna?
So important. Yeah. And you've probably, if you've been watching our videos, you've probably heard us talking about the survey that we recently completed, which is the State of Local Online Marketing 2020. And we asked local businesses that market to parents how much time they're spending on being the visionary in their business. And interestingly, 50% of all businesses across the board said that they were spending some time each week to be the visionary, which is pretty good.
Yeah, I was impressed with that number, actually.
I was impressed, but even more interesting is that of those businesses that consider themselves much more successful than their competitors, 62% of them are taking time each week to be the visionary. So
yes.
That just drives home how important that big picture thinking is, and how important it is to carve out time every week or at least every month to just sit down and have some quiet time and be thinking about where the business is going. Remember back, like Sherry said, why you started this, why you're, what you're passionate about, and what you can do to keep the business moving forward, to keep that fire and that passion alive. And visionary leaders are really the ones that are going to see the potential in situations and opportunities when others on your team may not. That's why you're the visionary. And businesses who really have a visionary leader who's actively taking that role on, they don't tend to get stuck as much in the day-to-day tasks because they're really looking forward, excuse me, and pursuing goals, and they have a plan in place for the business. They're moving it forward, and they know what they want it to be like in the future.
Yeah. And it's so important to make time to try to be that visionary in your business so you have that asset to your business, right? Yeah. So we talked this week in our weekly email newsletter about four ways to nurture your inner visionary, right? And if you're not a subscriber to the weekly nursetter, you should absolutely go to hulafrag.biz and sign up. You will get these every single week. But Susanna, let's go through the 4 ways to nurture your inner visionary. So the first one is all about just knowing where you want to be on an ongoing basis, right? And we like to make sure we always have a 3-year outlook, a 1-year outlook, and a 6-month outlook in terms of a vision for the business. Personally, for us at Hula Frog, we've done bigger plans and bigger picture thinking than that, but having that 6-month to 3-year window is a really nice combination of short-term and practical, and long-term that's far out there, but enough where you can really start to have an impact. So know where you want to be and know what kind of business you want to be. See yourself in that business, and where do you want to be, and what do you want your life and your days to look like at month 6, year 1, and year 3.
Yeah. Definitely. And number 2, is the one we talked about, is setting goals. So this is how you get to where you want to be in 6 months, 1 year, 3 years out, is by making a regular practice of setting goals so that you're continuing to work towards that vision that you have in place. And we have weekly goals here, we have quarterly goals, we have yearly goals, whatever works for your business, but making sure that you have very short-term goals that are manageable, that you're doing on a weekly basis, but also slightly longer-term goals, maybe quarterly or yearly, that you're working towards. It's really important to have concrete, specific goals written down so you can make progress to where you want to be going.
Yeah, absolutely. And number 3 was communicate. To be a great visionary for your business, you want to make sure you're communicating to anybody who might be an employee, be on your team in any way, shape, or form, whether they're just answering the door answering the phone, or they're your marketing person or whoever, you want to communicate what the vision and of course the goals are to your team on a regular basis. They want to hear, where are we going? The more you talk about where we're going, the more the people that are going with you are going to support that effort and understand all the little decisions that you're making in the business. So being a great communicator is key.
Really important. Yep. And the last one we have is embracing learning. So it's so important to have that learning mindset. We talk about this a lot, but constantly, continually learning and educating yourself, keeping up with what's new in your industry. By doing that, it's going to spark your own creativity and help you with that visionary process. So you'll have better ideas of where you want the business to be going. It also helps with setting your goals, because you know different practices that are going to help with these goal setting, reaching those visions, and just leading by example for your team of constantly learning is also really important.
Yeah. I think that that's so important. I find that even sometimes when I'm trying to, whether it's listen to a podcast or watch a video, I think especially listening to podcasts, when I'm trying to learn about something new, I can't even learn because the visionary stuff kicks in, right? It's like you hear about something, some new way of doing something, and you think, oh, that would work in this scenario. So learning is about, like, I think that's just so key. You know, it's about improving who we are as marketers. And like you said, Susanna, setting an example for everybody else, but it really does ignite the visionary.
Yep, definitely.
Well, all right. So I think that wraps up the 4 ways. And the one thing that we just want to underscore is, again, it's like everything else, do one thing, baby steps. You know, if you believe that this is important for your business, then grab your calendar right now and carve out a lunch where you just go by yourself and blue sky brainstorm things like, where do you want to be in 3 years? Just start by doing that. That little exercise will get you going. And it's all about getting going, right? That's how you want to stop the not growing, the treadmill. It's doing little things that will get you in that direction of really growing your business, and you'll see, like, the little things add up and make a huge difference.
One thing at a time, you'll get there.
One thing at a time, like we say. All right, so then that concludes our weekly tip for this week. If you are interested in learning more about what other local businesses are doing with their online marketing in 2020, definitely get a copy of that report that Susanna was talking about. It is free. It is available at hulafrag.biz/2020. There's lots of great information from the survey that we did of local businesses that market to parents, right? So these are all businesses just like yours. And we asked them all kinds of really interesting questions like, you know, how much time do they spend on planning versus, you know, and what are they spending money on in 2020? What marketing tactics are they going to be focusing on? So it's a really, really great way to see and hear what other businesses like yours are going to be doing. So again, that's hulafrag.biz/2020. It is a free report for you to download. And I think that's it, right, Susanna?
I think so.
All right. So thank you so much for joining us. Come on back next Friday, same time, same place, 9 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Eastern time, and we'll see you next week for our weekly tip.